That got
Hello.
everyone. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first, almost a year since we last done a podcast. We changed format a bit for those that have watched us before. So it's going to be very different. We're going to keep it a bit shorter as well, and it's going to be really just debate rather than anything else. So we're going to debate issues and whatever else of the day, talk about different things, and we hope you guys will join in with the chat. It's been a while, folks. So let me just introduce you to the team again. Hello, Nigel. How are you? And how's your last year been?
Yeah, it's been good. I missed our podcast. Just had a little holiday, Benidorm, fresh back from that, and been keeping myself busy. So, it's good to be back.
Cool. Dan, hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Gal. Yeah, really well, mate. It feels like it's been an age since we've done this. So I've got a new hip.
Ages, yeah.
I've got a new hip now, so I can.
And Greg, finally there, mate.
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Working hard, getting out and about when we can, But yeah, no, all good. Been a while, like Dan said, since we've done one of these.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look, before we start our debates, just first of all, got to say, massive bigging up to both you, Dan, and Greg. The work you've been doing this season on the social media has been unbelievable. Dan, I know you've been doing a lot of work on the website as well, which is looking great. So people check out the website, which is being flashed along the bottom there. But, mate, I can't say enough how hard you two work. It's absolutely phenomenal. So well done, you two.
Can I just say, Dan's done really well because with being on strike as a train driver, he's had plenty of time to do that, hasn't he? and he's been earning money.
This is why they go on strike. This is absolutely why. So those of you that are watching, you must remember that we do. This is replayed. Obviously, you can watch it again at any time. If you're watching it live, then get involved, and you can just drop us a message on whichever platform you're watching, and get involved with the debates on the subjects we're about to raise. If there's something you'd like us to debate, then give us a shout as well. But obviously, if you're watching this outside of Sunday at 5 o'clock, then I wouldn't bother because you won't get through to us because we'll be working or something. So look, guys, let's just crack in. I'm going to bring. I've got a couple of topics that I'm going to throw on the table. Let me start with the first one, which I think is the only one really to start with. This potential sin bin, the blue card, as they call it. What is that all about?
Lots of bollocks. Sorry for the language.
Repeat that. What did you say? I didn't quite hear you.
It's a load of bollocks, in my opinion.
Absolute bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Madness.
Just trying to bring too many things into the game now. And I mean, the game was described as an easy game. Leave it alone. We don't need a blue card in football. The VAR is ruining football enough as it is.
Yeah.
So somebody out there just wants to keep changing things, and it's not for me.
No.
Thing is as well, if they do bring it in, which it sounds like they're going to into the FA Cup, where does all it's going to do is just spark debate on your Talk Sports of the world, where it's like, oh, well, this player got in this ref's face and got a blue card, but this player told a ref to F off and he didn't get anything. So and then it'll be consistency, just like it is with VAR. It's just a farce, isn't it? It's not football, is it, at the end of the day?
How many men could be in a sin bin at one time?
I mean, honestly.
you could have a side down to 7 players.
Yeah.
And in that case, will a game get abandoned if 3 players got sent off?
Well, exactly.
But there's no need for this blue. They've already got the tools, the referees, to stop. The blue card's about back chat and lack of discipline with the refs, lack of respect, time wasting. And the refs have already got the power to give them a yellow card, haven't they?
Yeah.
And the whole reason a lot of VAR was brought in, and not all of it, but it's down to the players and the managers who nick every sort of angle to get an advantage, don't they?
I've got to be honest. I think that they'll pull the plug on it anyway, because I think that the backlash from it being announced has been massive, and it not only from like fans but from players, managers, clubs, and I think they'll probably announce something in the coming months and go, oh yeah, we thought about it, and actually, you know, like they'll just bow to peer pressure. Do you know what I mean?
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think
listen to the fans.
Well, not so much the fans. I think, but you know, you look at all the managers; they all got asked in their press conferences over the weekend about it, didn't they? And there was one manager who said was for it. So I think, you know, something will happen. They'll probably.
Regardless of what happens, I think the fear is that you know, football, they are looking to change it constantly. You know, they brought VAR in, which still don't work very well.
No.
You know, they brought this rule of playing the games longer, stopping for time wasting. You know, again, maybe that's down to players and the way they play the game of football these days. Some people would call it cheating, I guess, delaying the time. You know, I just think we're in danger of seeing a lot more going on and changing the beautiful game that we all love. And I think, you know, it's just disgraceful that they keep changing it and wanting to change it. I think whether this happens or not, it's again something they want to change. And yet, in my view, they still haven't really got VAR right, have they? Let's be honest.
On the subject of VAR, I think that in some countries it works really well. You know, I've watched games abroad and they actually do it really well. And it begs the question: is it the people that are in charge of it rather than the actual system itself? You know, in this country, it's an absolute shit show. It's like you look at I watched Match of the Day last night. It was nice. Gary Lineker not being on it for a change, but I watched the Luton Sheffield United game and neither of them were penalties. Both handballs in the box. You know, where are these players meant to put their arms when they jump for a ball? You know, it's just, you know, your arms move when you jump. Anyone who's played the game knows that. And what gets me is the referee's gone over to the monitor because he's been told to go over. Fair enough. He goes over and it's like he's scared to use his common sense and go, oh no, it's not a penalty for me. He just goes with the black and white rule or the rule he's being told in his ear. It's just nonsense, you know. And it's just. I don't get it. I think it's more down to the people that are involved in VAR more than VAR itself. I just think they're fucking idiots, personally. But there we go.
In non-league, step 5, they've been trialling this blue card, or sin bins, not blue card, but the sin bins for all season. And you speak to a lot of the fans, the ones I've seen on our page, they said it's worked well. But I'll come back with and said, but you haven't got VAR to
and also, as well, I think there's a different pressure as well, though. In that level of football, and I think it'll probably be more well received and well respected, and you know the decisions would be accepted. Whereas, can you imagine a crowd of 30, 40, 50,000 in the Premier League and a blue card gets issued for one team, not for the other team, and there's a little bit of a spat and a bit of dissent. Then it's on Sky, then it's on Talk Sport, and it's a big story made of it. It's really different to having it in your local step 5, step 6 football. Do you know what I mean? It's completely different for me.
What do you think about injuries, Nige? People are mentioning if you go off for 10 minutes, you come back and you're cold. You're not. There's a chance of getting hamstrings or.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, you know, a 10-minute break might do some of the players good, come back on again, a bit more refreshed. But again, I'll go back to, you know, how many players can be in the sin bin at one time? You know, because if you're talking about the abuse of the referee, when you see the big crowds of players around referees when a decision's being made. I mean, he could give a blue card to about 4 of them. So you could end up with 9 players on the pitch, 8 players on the pitch. It's ridiculous. And I don't think that any of these decisions are being asked to the players whether they want it. I think the players don't seem to have any input in what changes are being made to the game at the moment. They're the most.
I think the players are scared to speak out, though, mate. I think it's very much like with taking the knee and all the other campaigns and shit they've had over the years. I think they're scared of speaking out. They're scared of saying anything for, you know, any repercussions.
It should be plain. It should be just put to the football clubs. Here's a list of the players at your club. If you're in favour of this, tick it. If you're not, Xbox it. And see how many negative results they get back and how many positives. And I'm pretty sure the footballers had any say in it, and the managers and, you know, the owners of the club. I don't think they'd go ahead. I don't think VAR would have done. I think that initially that was just brought out to see if it's a penalty or see if the ball's crossed the line. You know, definitely this pixel stuff's rubbish now.
But you make a great point, Nigel, about how many players can be in a sin bin. Because if you go down to 8 men, the game gets abandoned, doesn't it?
That's what I said. 3 red cards and the game gets abandoned. So if you've got 3 players in the sin bin, what happens then?
Yeah, and then teams might use that to their advantage if they're 3 or 4-0 down. You know, teams are going to use anything to get their advantage with.
Honestly, the game gets cancelled at 3-0.
But do you know what as well? If this rule gets brought in, say it was brought in permanently, the teams are gonna be in training. They're gonna be like practicing. Right, if we are playing a team who go down to 10, for 10 minutes, how do we press them? And if it's vice versa, if they go down to 10, they'll be like, right, we'll sit in for 10 minutes, we'll practice that, we'll train on it, so we know exactly what we got to do for 10 minutes, and the game will become boring. It would become like, it's not gonna be football, is it? It's just gonna be a nonsense. But also, what happens? If these refs are told to get strict on this rule, right? Imagine a cynical foul, right? You stop a counter attack, blue card. Then he goes up to the ref and goes, "Oh, golf, right? Is that 2 blue cards, red card? How strict are they going to be?"
That's a maroon card. That's a different colour.
Yeah, they're bringing another colour.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to pull out the rainbow-coloured card. I'm sure that'll get down the line somewhere. Yeah, I mean, look, let's just Stuart Higgins, blue card, Lowell. What you'll find is players rolling around on the ground, etc., just to time waste that 10 minutes. Still, that player returns to the field. Football is becoming farcical. Hello to Stephen Parkin and Gareth Williams. Changing the rules for the sake of changing them. Spurs manager. I'm guessing that's a quote from the Spurs manager. That he's just to anyone watching, if you want to pop and get involved with any of the debates that we're going to have over the next sort of 20 odd minutes or so that's left of the show, feel free, jump on whatever platform you're on, just drop us a message and it will come up and get involved.
So listen, getting back to what this guy said about players rolling on the ground, wasting a bit of time. So if a player is doing that, does that time get added onto the sin bin? So you can have a player in the sin bin for 15 minutes. If he's added on time for time wasted on a pitch, so does that work against the sin bin? I mean, there's no rules being made here. There's no proper signals being sent out to anybody how it's going to work.
And how long's the game's going to go on for? I mean, I just think, did you watch the Sunderland Newcastle game the other week without VAR? It's a big FA Cup games, wasn't it? How refreshing was it to watch? How refreshing was it to watch that game with knowing a goal went in and it was a goal? It was I mean, I don't watch a lot of Premier League now as much as I used to, so but how refreshing is it without all that? It's just going to get absolutely confused with the sin bins and
just leave the game alone.
Yeah,
I'll tell you another point as well. The FA Cup. So they're on about trialing this blue card in the FA Cup. I just thought the FA Cup this season, VAR was only used at certain grounds, wasn't it? Premier League grounds where the VAR was able. So if you've got an FA Cup game with a Premier League ground where you've got VAR and a blue card, and then you've got a Championship game where you've got no VAR and a blue card, it's just going to get messy, isn't it? People were moaning this season that VAR should have been either used in all games or not at all. Well, the same thing applies,
Just leave the game alone. That's my view. Leave it alone.
The refs have just got to take. The refs have got to use their. Sorry, go on, Gal. Go on, mate.
I would say it's a wonderful game. It's been going 150 years or whatever. Just leave it alone. Let us just keep the game that we all fell in love with.
The problem we've got as well, though, Gal,
the game that I fell in love with anymore. That's the way it's heading.
The problem we've got, though, Gal, is it's the names of the people involved that are trying to push these rules. You've got Arsene Wenger and also as well Pierluigi Collina, the old referee, who everyone I think probably thought he was a top ref. I put a post on our page and I said, believe it or not, Collina's fully behind this idea. And I find that amazing because he was probably one of the most well-respected, well-loved referees.
He didn't take his shit,
everyone was fearful of, and he wants this blue card thing in. I can't believe it.
No, I'm sure Brown Envelope passed his way to support it, but
maybe, yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of these decisions are also commercial. They're trying to make it a TV product rather than
Americanized as well, isn't it?
I think this is a lot to do with these constant changes that they want to bring in. Stuart Higgins again. Simples really. Get rid of VAR. Go back to basics so that the fans can debate the result. Well, actually, it's a really good point because it's going to come to a point where you're not going to be able to go to work on a Monday and talk about the dodgy. That should have been this. That's part of the love of the game, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that should have been a goal. No. Yeah, it should be. Yeah. They're taking all that away. It's going to become very sterile, I think, football, if we're not careful.
But next season we're going to have the offsides where the technology is going to get better. So it'll be an instant. I think they're using the Champions League. It'll be an instant. They'll know straight away with the chip in the ball. So that'd be fine. You've got the goal line technology, which it works perfectly, apart from one instant, I think, which is great. Just leave them two things in it.
Yeah.
As for penalties, that's all an objection, a different view from a different ref. They all see it differently. So VAR's still not 100% on a penalty decision or a foul. That's still objective, isn't it? It's not changed anything.
Yeah.
No, there's been some farcical decisions. Right, okay, let's find something else to talk about. I've got something else I want to, but anything from you guys first?
Not from me, mate. Not I can think of. Top of my head.
Go on, you crack on, girl.
Right, so the next point I'd like us to discuss, and again, please remember, folks who are watching it live. That is, let's be sure of that. You can get involved, and if you've got something you'd like us to debate, put it up, message us, and whatever platform you're on, jump on. So the Man United are putting a case together, by all accounts, to get taxpayers money to build a northern Wembley of 90,000, a northern Wembley which would be Old Trafford. Your views, chaps?
Is this like the leveling up thing? So Jim Ratcliffe's trying to use.
So basically, they're trying to get us to pay for rebuilding Old Trafford into a 90,000 seat stadium.
Yeah, I think he's got enough money himself, hasn't he? And the Glaziers. I don't know why we should have to put our hands in their pocket. You definitely need a Wembley. You definitely need it's another debate having a national stadium in the middle of the country. But no, I don't think this should be. Yeah,
but I mean, all right, Old Trafford, they say, is falling apart. I mean, I'm guessing it just needs a bit of money spending on it. You know what I mean? But the point is, Old Trafford is currently. I mean, what we're talking? I mean, it's 75,000 currently. I mean, they play England games up there, don't they?
Yeah.
What the taxpayer got to pay out? Sorry, but bollocks to the FA. They pay for it. You know, they've got so much money now. Why have we got to pay out to have this stadium? No, it's all wrong.
The money in the Premier League is ridiculous, isn't it? It's a joke.
They want us to pay out.
Yeah.
You've got a little crisis going on, and
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It's a strange one. I can't see it ever happening.
For them to fucking redevelop Old Trafford. No way.
But let's be honest, mate. Let's be honest. We all work and we all pay our taxes. We don't know where our money goes, really, do we? Do you know what I mean? There's many debates you can have if about football or about other subjects. We pay our taxes. Half the places where our money goes, we probably wouldn't want it to go. You know, we're not going to know none the wiser. We ain't going to have a clue if our money goes towards it or not. If they want to keep it under wraps, they'll keep it under wraps.
Yeah. You know? You want that money to go down to lower grassroots levels to build up 3G everywhere. Not to give it to the cream at the top. Money, well, I mean, that's what happens in society now, though, doesn't it? I mean, don't want to get political, but money goes to money, doesn't it? And
of course it does,
yeah. No, I think definite no go.
I'm just a big believer. Look, in life in general, you pay your taxes. I don't believe that we know the true facts about a lot of things. We don't know where our money goes, and we probably don't want to know where our money goes.
I agree with you. I just think the actual cheek of Manchester United to ask us to pay for their stadium, when you look at the money that they pay these overpaid players. I shouldn't have said that, so I didn't mean it like in the context that came out. I'm trying to find a word. These whatever. Yeah. These players are well.
I know what you mean. You got players on 300, 400 grand a week, and they got the cheek to ask people to pay for their ground.
That's more to the point. Yeah. You're quite right. We don't know where all our money goes, and I'm sure some of it gets squandered completely, but that's another subject for a different show, I guess. But
the billions they get. I've had a Man City fan messaging us. I'm going to put a post up later. He's asked a couple of good questions, and he was saying that he doesn't go anymore. He's had enough of modern day football. Man City, they're best, aren't they? But he went in the 80s and 90s. But he said that the comparison of a ticket back in 92 was a tenner. With inflation, it should be about 24 quid now. It's a lot more than that, isn't it? So, but they're making billions and millions more now.
Did you say he was a City fan?
Yeah. He's a City
Do
fan.
you know what? I've seen a few of their home games, and Christ, even just the fan base that they get at the Etihad, that would annoy me and stop me from going, mate. It's all selfie sticks and cameras and bloody phones out, and tourists. And I remember the season that we had up in the Prem for a few years, and we had tourists, and we thought that was bad enough. But City's another. I don't blame the locals. They're probably sick to death of it, mate. You know what I mean? They probably just want to go and watch their team. I remember when I went out to watch Seville play, and they was at home to Barcelona, and this Chinese bloke near me, he whipped out his selfie stick, and the steward would come past him and just grabbed it off him and carried on walking. And the bloke was like, absolutely shock of his life, and I found it hilarious. But this steward was having none of it. He was like, none of that in here, mate, and just walked off with his selfie stick. You imagine if that happens over here, it'd probably make the news. Oh no, the man's been treated badly.
There was a time that you couldn't. I'm sure there was a time they wouldn't let you video or anything in the ground.
Yeah,
I think now with phones you can't stop it, can you? Really? I mean, everyone's got their blowers out, haven't they? But yeah, what he was, it's like it's a comparison to what this Man United are asking for now. They're earning billions.
Yeah.
They're still charging fans the earth for tickets. I know they get sold on in different places, but players want a lot more money. But that's even in comparison to the fans still having to pay well over the top for what they do. Like Dave Nathan from Dole Square FC, Gary, we had on before. Hopefully we're getting back on. But he started up a football club, stopped going to Arsenal because he loved Arsenal and stopped going because of the money they was making out of them. The membership scheme, wasn't it? 80, 90,000 Arsenal members paying 20, 30.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know, paying 50 quid for membership. I'm not sure on the figures, but you've got more chance of getting a ticket. But there's 80, 90,000 members, so they're not all going to get a ticket.
That's right. They're paying for membership, yet they weren't getting hardly any benefit. So Arsenal was selling their memberships, and the benefits were very limited. And he worked out that they'd made £18 million out of what it was.
Yeah.
Just before we crack on, let's just catch up with people messaging. I've stopped going to games at the top level, been ground up in this season. That's Gareth Williams, who was a regular from before. Hello, Gareth. I hope you're well. Not being ripped off, and clubs make you feel welcome. Oh, they do. I was at Colton Town again the other day, and absolutely amazing. It's a different world, isn't it? Stephen is asking, do I think Leeds United will be back in the Premiership again? Probably. They've got a good chance. I mean, Leicester, I'd say Leicester's clear favourites now to go up as champions, I would say, aren't they?
Yeah, there's the three below is all tight, though, isn't it? Southampton.
The mad thing with Leicester, though, is Leicester fans aren't happy, are they? Which is pretty amazing. Nah, they keep kicking off with them. They've said they're not happy with the manager. I don't know how true it was, but I saw something come out the other week saying that if the manager, Maresca, he said if the fans carry on, he'll walk.
Really?
So, apparently their fans have not been happy.
Is that a case of because they'd won the Premiership, they played in the Champions League?
I think it's the style of football. I think it's the football they're playing more than anything. But
if
there is any Leicester fans watching, give us your opinion. That'd be great, please.
Yeah, you got Ipswich and all, wouldn't you? There's Ipswich, Leeds, and Southampton all tight for that second.
Southampton are what 23, 24 unbeaten are they as well now?
Unbelievable, aren't they?
Yeah, they're flying.
Brilliant season.
I think what you'll probably see there is Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton. Leicester, Southampton, and Leeds just pull away from the rest. You know, really, I think there'll be a bit of a gap. Ipswich have done well with in the window, and they've obviously had a great season so far. But I can see them kind of falling away a little bit. I don't see them keeping pace with Southampton and Leeds really as it goes on.
And it just shows you the gap, doesn't it? The top three are the three who come down. The parachute money, doesn't it? The same old.
But this is it. If you do it right, if you manage to hold on to most of your squad and you get a good manager in, you get the best out of the players. Southampton lost players. They lost Ward-Prowse. They've lost a few others. They lost Alcaraz in January, but they've still kept loads of good players, and it's showing, isn't it? Look at Leicester. They've lost a few, but again, they've kept good players for that level. They went and signed Connor Cody. They went and bought in Harry Winks. And they're top of the league. So you do it right, and you get your rewards.
I just thought I want to bring up Gal a bit. Is it was a FA Trophy the weekend, wasn't it? 5th round, all the National League clubs steps 1 to 4, but they did it in the last round. I had a bet on Chesterfield to win the game. Chesterfield, top team, isn't they, in the non-league? But they weren't even favourites for the game, and I thought, why is that? And it's because they rested half of their team. Do you know how the big teams rest their players in the Premier League for a FA Cup? National League sides are resting players for the FA Trophy, and I see a post on the non-league page, and they were saying it's like it's devaluing the cup. So it happens at all levels, doesn't it? That I just found that surprising.
Yeah.
I think culture all these days, though, Dan, and everything's changing. There's managers going in jobs even at non-league level with the concept of following what the top league clubs are doing, and it's. I think promotion these days is worth more than any of the cups. So most of the teams, they'll sacrifice the cups to get the promotion and the bonuses that come with the promotions.
I think the thing with Chesterfield as well is they've been so close over the last few years of promotion. They're so far clear at the moment in the National League. I think they're probably just thinking that's the sole ambition, and you know what I mean. They've got to get out this year. I think to be fair, I think they've done well because obviously they missed out with Wrexham and Notts County, and obviously Stockport before that in the league. And this seems to be their year. So I get it, and I think if you're a fan of their club, a day at Wembley for the FA Trophy or getting finally into the Football League, it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, well, I lost 20 quid on that bet.
And out of interest, I've not seen the result. What was the result? The Chesterfield result, out of interest?
No, they went out the round before. They went out in the fourth round. To a team 2 step or 1 step below them. So
okay. While we're on the subject of non-league, and then I think we'll just maybe finish off with a discussion about the Premier League and any other points that being that's our first show this season. Money. Football has lost touch with modern supporters. I don't know what a modern supporter is, Stuart Higgins. I'm not a modern supporter, I would say. I think some of the modern supporters probably love it the way it's going. They're not what I would deem.
Still getting big crowds going, aren't they? Arsenal playing well, aren't they? But I don't know if the crowd figures are up in the Premier League, are they? So I mean, they're still getting people through the door, yeah. I don't. But we speak to so many people, and that Man City fan again, he said you speak to so many people at non-league who follow a Premier League team but don't go anymore. They rather.
Yeah, I think Stuart's point about the modern supporter. I think the modern supporter is different to say the likes of us. I think the modern supporter is somebody who maybe doesn't know. Obviously, a lot of youngsters don't know any different, do they? Let's be honest.
No, that's true.
We've grown up in a very different football environment, and that's why we moan and groan about it. But it's what it is. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit. But before we do that, I just wanted to touch on. We're talking about non-league. Obviously, at Proper Football, is really we love to promote non-league football. But I just want to mention Darren and his vlogs that he does. They're fantastic, aren't they? I noticed. Is it? He's done one this week. I just managed to catch a little bit of it. I can't remember who it was against now, but he's doing a cracking job with his ground hopping in non-league, isn't he? And obviously gives us all his material.
Yeah, so he lets us put them on our website, and you can watch. Yeah. He does a little blog before it, a little talk, and then you watch the vlog. So I think it was.
And he's been on our show as well. We'll have to get him back on again and have a chat with him. But
you can check him out on YouTube. Dash71. His link is. But no, it's brilliant. Yeah. He goes there. He rings them up before, goes on the ground. They look after him.
Yeah,
speaks to players. Does a few interviews. They're only like 12-15 minutes long, which is perfect, really, because all you need to know. And no, it's great. It's great.
And just to touch on, didn't we as Proper Football get a full spread in Red Hill's programme this weekend?
Yes. I can't remember the fella's name now, but he messaged us a few weeks back to say he was at another game. Red Hill's game was postponed. He went to another game and he noticed they had a mascot. So he thought, well, why haven't we got one at Red Hill? And they're known as the Lobsters. So he went on Amazon, bought a lobster outfit, and turned up to the next home game. There's some right good footage. So I've done an article on the website, and he said, do you mind if we put it in our programme? So he sent me a picture yesterday of their programme. And we're in there. So they beat Orly 5-2 in a local derby. So it's great story.
Success for Proper Football. Right, okay, chaps. Let's be as this is first one back for a while. And folks, just keep an eye out when we're going to do it. We're probably not going to do it every week. probably will do one next Sunday, but then it might be fortnightly. But just keep an eye out on all our pages for when the next show is, and get involved. If you want us to bring something up, then give us a shout. If you fancy coming on the show for a chat, give us a shout. Again, look, the website number down below. Check that out. So let's talk about Premier League then. Not that I'm a fan of it, but it's a bit different this year, isn't it? I mean, Man City are not the groundbreaking side they have been. What's your opinions on where we are?
They've just won 10 consecutive wins, haven't they? In a row. 10 wins in a row. So I would say you're not the same force.
You don't watch it, Nigel.
It's definitely a better league this year. I think, it's still anyone's at about anyone for 5, I think, at the moment. But my money's still on City, though. I think they're flying at the moment.
Yeah. So they know how to do it, don't they? They know how to been there, done it. Yeah.
I mean, getting back to the Championship. I mean, Leicester are 34 points in front of Watford at the moment.
Yeah.
And
There's a reason for that, Catty.
Yeah, but what the thing is, Watford with a couple of wins, they could still be in the playoffs. Yeah. That's how stupid that league is at the moment. You can't tell me that Leicester are 34 points better than Watford's squad. Their squad and Watford's squad can't be 34 points in it. So
there weren't much between the teams yesterday, mate. That's for sure. But,
does that come down to management? Does it come down to players' attitudes? I don't know. I was stunned to see 34 points gap.
Yeah.
But going back to the Premiership, Liverpool flying at the moment, aren't they? Arsenal have just won 2 big games. But City, they've gone 10. I think they've won 10 wins in a row now, so they're flying.
Thing is,
De Bruyne's back now.
If you look at the top 5 leagues, right? If you look at the top 5 leagues now, you've got obviously City top of the league. Well, I think Liverpool gone back top actually after their win. Either way, City obviously they've not got any injuries. They've got all the players back. People's money would probably be on City. Look at the Championship, Leicester flying. Can't really see anyone getting close to them, even though Southampton are keeping that unbeaten run going. They still need Leicester to have a bad few weeks. League One, Pompey, absolutely flying it down there. League Two, you've got Stockport, they won again, and they're top of the league, and they look like they're going to go up. I think we said before on the show, there's not much between League One and League Two, really. And then you look at the National League, Chesterfield, who you were speaking about earlier, same again, flying. It's like we're in February, and you've arguably got, okay, maybe not Premier League, but the other 4 leagues, there's the top sides are by far and away absolutely flying, aren't they?
I think
I must say,
Pompey ain't so clear, I don't think. The games there. Derby, maybe.
League One, I must admit.
Just before I forget, all right. When I left Watford to go to Derby, Derby and Portsmouth were in the old 2nd division. And Portsmouth were top and Derby was 2nd, and that's exactly where they are at the moment. So
yeah, they are.
I thought that's mad,
So
every time I look at Pompey, they seem to be winning, but it must just be
they are.
They're not as clear as what it looks. I mean, they're top with 66 points. Derby have got 60, but they got a game in hand.
Right.
Bolton have got 59 with 3 games in hand.
Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah,
right. And Barnsley. But I must say, I do like the look of that top. I mean, they're clubs.
It's a hard league to get out of as well, isn't it?
Portsmouth, Derby, Bolton, Barnsley, all clubs that are worthy of Championship football.
Tell you what, though, you look at that league, and obviously Sunderland went down, took them a couple of years. Reading and obviously Wigan have gone down. Wigan ain't doing anything special. Obviously, Reading have got massive problems, aren't they, off the pitch? Apparently their owners stopped funding them, and it's just madness there. But it's Blackpool been Championship, and they've taken a while. Now they're in League One. They've taken a while to get going, and Bolton are another one. It seems to be Charlton. You go down into League Charlton, yeah, and it's like you go down into that League One, and you can be stuck down there a while. It's a good old slog, that league, isn't it? But hard to call. But yeah, wouldn't want to go down to the Championship, that's for sure.
I would say if there's a result of the day, I'd go down into League Two and say Bradford beating Wrexham at Wrexham.
Last minute that was as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the great result for Bradford. I mean, they're sitting down in 14th. Wrexham slipping away a little bit there, although they hold games in hand. They are slipping away a little bit there.
Notts
they're
County would
down.
have a surprise goal. They've been struggling of late, haven't they? Notts County have slipped down the league, haven't they?
Yeah,
They lost their
Notts
manager, though,
County
didn't they?
dropped-
Yes.
Notts
Their manager
County
went to
dropped
Swansea,
like
didn't he?
a
Yeah.
boulder. Stockport look like they're flying. Mansfield having a great season. Crewe ain't doing bad. Barrow there as well, doing well.
Yeah.
MK Don's sitting there.
I still fancy Mansfield are the best team I've seen in. Well, I went to see them at Accrington, but Mansfield are a very good team under Clough, Nigel Clough. Very good footballing side. I reckon
And they're doing well again this season. They pushed a bit last season, you know.
Yeah.
But
they beat Stour Mince's lot, didn't they, yesterday, 4-0. Forest Green. I don't know. I don't know who their manager. Who's their manager now? Has he changed it again? Has he?
Do you know what? You know, we've done our predictions at the start of the season. We might actually be on for one because I think we all tipped Forest Green to go down. So we might, at least we might get one right.
I had a bet them to finish bottom, 20 quid. I think it was 14-1. Yeah, I cashed out a couple of. I cashed out a couple of months ago. I needed the money with somebody else.
Okay, Stuart Higgins asking us a question. Here's a question for us. He says, so how many ex-Premier sides playing lower league football? 18, I think, proves all.
How many ex-Premier League sides?
18 ex-Premier
Well, I know
League
Leroy
sides.
Leiter's definitely one because Leroy Leiter's knocking about. Well, he's at Colville now, I believe. He left Nuneaton because Nuneaton folded. He's definitely one.
Chimbonda? Pascal Chimbonda?
Yeah,
Chimbonda.
No, he's on about sides, actual.
Oh, sides.
Oh,
Premier
sides. I
League
thought you meant players. Right, okay.
Yeah. 18, he reckons, ex-Premier League.
Bloody hell.
But Gareth Williams I've lost the comment now, but he said, give a shout out to Falmouth Town.
No, yeah, I've got it in front of me. So he reckons they played Jersey yesterday, and the support that Falmouth took over to Jersey, bearing in mind, that's a heck of a journey. You know, even from Falmouth, it's still a,
They chartered a plane, didn't they? 70 of them. I think it was 300 quid each. So they called the F Troop their fans at Falmouth, and they flew over there with a team. Some flew from Gatwick, some got the ferry from Poole. But,
wow.
What a day out.
You see it as well with the Isle of Man. I think the Kendall Town took about 200 over there.
They're the ones who got stuck over there.
Well, I'm laughing at them.
They're still there.
Yeah, I'm laughing at them and thinking, fair play. And they've got stranded because of the storm on the Sunday, so they couldn't get home. So they got stuck in the Isle of Man. And I'm laughing at them. And then on the Tuesday, another storm hits, and I get stranded in Belfast. I didn't get back.
Karma, isn't it?
I'm like, yeah, there you go. That's but no, it's some phenomenal support in the non-league now. I think, without a doubt, and they're getting big away crowds.
Yeah, it was 2000 at Stourport, was it? Stourport, Worcester.
Stourport. I was going to go to that game yesterday. It's about an hour away from me, and then I looked. I was literally getting ready to leave. I was thinking, yeah, I'm up for that. Okay, I'll go. And then I looked at it, and it was like, oh no, the last tickets that they sold them in the clubhouse last weekend. They had no tickets on the door, and I was like, oh, I won't be going there then. So
2000.
Yeah. 2000, yeah. It all kicked off as well, didn't it? I seen
it. Sadly, there's a bit of trouble right at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that was the FA bars.
You pointed out, though, Dan, it's quite local, and it Worcester to Stourport. There's not much in it. But
20 minutes.
So we've got the last 5 minutes just to say, Ben Cliff's come on. Glad to see you back. Thank you, Ben. And hopefully, you're a regular before. So, yeah, it would be great. Ian Livesley, I hope I've said that right. Isle of Man away. Great trip. Done it twice. Who have you done that with, Ian? Let us know. Who is it you've actually gone over there with to support? But I bet it is Jersey as well. A great trip. It's like going to Europe, really.
Me and my mates have looked at doing Isle of Man. So we looked at the flights, and I think it was there's 2 airports in Isle of Man, but it was doable. But you've got, because there's only one or 2 flights a day, so they kick off a bit earlier. But it was very tight to get back.
Very.
Did you not get the boat, or
the ferry's expensive? Probably. Really expensive. Yeah. You go out of Heysham, I think it is, just up from Lancaster.
Yeah.
You get the ferry out of Heysham, and it ain't cheap, trust me. Jersey, it's Weymouth. You get the ferry from Weymouth, and I think Poole.
Yes,
yeah. So Ian said he was going out there with Charnock Charnock Richard FC. Charnock Richard, that reminds me of the services. Charnock Richard services.
You need to get a train to get to these ferry services, mate.
Yeah, you really can't get a train because
What are
Danny
you
keeps
doing?
going on strike.
I'm
Cliff
off
says,
sick.
I nearly did the Isle of Man with Congleton Town. Charnock FC, I do social media and program. We'd be interested to talk to you then, Ian. See what we can do. Get in touch, mate. Yeah. 18 teams struggling to make big bucks of modern day football. The riches in football are top six nonsense, Champions League, etc. Funds need to be divided through the leagues. I mean, Stuart, it's something we're always saying. We know that. Ian, can you get the ferry out of Liverpool in the summer? I don't know, Ian. I'm not sure. I know Heysham.
No, he said you can. He said you can.
Oh, you can in the summer. Yeah. Okay, right. But in the summer, we're not playing football. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I bet it is a good trip, Ian. Ian, get in touch with us, mate. Get in touch. And Darren's jumped on. Cheers for the shout out, lads. Okay, Joey Barton and female football pundits discuss. Next week. Not next week. Next week. Because I tell you what,
for that one, mate.
we talk about a number of things next week, and that. All right, we'll bring that up. Ooh, that's going to be controversial. Go on, Joey Barton. No.
Get him on the show, guys.
That's my phone ringing.
That's Joey Barton.
Hang on a minute. We've got getting loads of comments coming in, chaps. So let's just finish them off before we go off air. Yes, I have a flag that has Charnock Richard Football Club. More than a service station. No. I know. To be honest with you, I go past it about 3 times a week. It's one of my landmarks to knowing how far I've got to get up to Scotland. But
that's what it says in the flag, Al. More than
sorry?
a service. That's what it says in the flag. I think more than a service station.
Oh, fair play. Yeah. Ian again. Ben saying to Ian, one of our old boys is smashing it for Runcorn Linnets this season. Ollie Molly. Really? Is that his name? Ollie Molly? His mum and dad didn't like him, did they? And then we got again Ian. Yeah, I'd love to come on for a chat. Yeah, we'd love to have you on, Ian. No, great. Let's get in touch.
What's happened to Kidsgrove, girl? Can you ask Ben what's happened to Kidsgrove? They was up and near the top. They're 14th now. Ben Cliff.
Yeah, all right, Ben. What's going on at Kidsgrove? Ian, get hold of us. The best way for Ian to get hold of us, Dan?
Just through the page, yeah. Just
get hold of us, Ian. We'll sort it out.
Ian's messaged before. He knows that.
Your club and that, without a doubt. Get me on and I'll show it. Yeah. The flag, okay, more than just the services. Okay, Ben, I've recently moved to Crewe with my girlfriend, so I've been watching Crewe, definitely going up. No, Crewe, yeah, they're in the running there, aren't they? Without a doubt. Nigel, I'll see you tonight on Mixcloud stream. I haven't got the stream link on here yet, but yeah, Nigel does a stream.
Somebody put something on Facebook today. Apparently, it's 40 years to this day that I scored 2 goals at Notts County.
Oh, really? 40 years to the day?
Goal of the month for that one as well.
Wow.
Can't believe 40 years has gone by.
No. I didn't know you started at 12 years of age.
Other than Friday nights, Nigel is on Mixcloud giving some banging tunes out. If you fancy having a little duck in there, what should they do, Nigel?
Just go on my Facebook page and click on the link.
There you go. So please do that. Look on his Facebook page. You won't regret it. We are Crack. I'm presuming he meant crap.
Cack.
Okay, yeah, we're Cack. Lost a few players and an insane amount of players to bigger teams, so we are struggling. Another
good
subject
growth.
that opens another subject up for next week, to be fair, and that is what some of the I've had a few chats, a few people in non-league clubs, and there's some serious things going on with player wages that are making it impossible for clubs to get on. But we'll talk about that next week. And the less we talk about Stoke City, the better. League One next season as it stands. Don't know. There's some worse sides out there, I think, mate. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. We're trying to keep the shows a bit shorter, chaps. So I'll give everyone their last word. Join me and Nigel are definitely on every week, and we'll try and get guests on as well, like we did last year. I think the pinnacle last year was John Barnes coming on, but we had Tony Coton and people like that on as well, and a few of the non-league chairmen that come on. Hopefully we get Greg Lake on again. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Greg's definitely up for that.
Yeah, great. We're going to slightly change format. It's going to be more debate rather than messing about. Pick up some subjects. You can pick a subject that you'd like to debate on here, or like us to debate. Just give us a nod. In the week, you can just get messages and say, look, on your show, can you do this? Can you talk about this subject? So we've had a few pop up today. Like I say, if you're watching it live, you can talk to us quite simply by messaging. Last word for me is, well, I hope you've enjoyed us coming back. And you support us going on forward with this. So, Dan, from you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to, if the football card we're doing for the defibrillator still ongoing. We've raised about 470 quid. We need 775. So, it's a football card. It's £5 a go. You'll see it on our featured posts on Facebook. So, give us a message if you want one of the teams. Send us a £5. It's 125 quid the winner, and 125 into the fund. So, that's all to say on that one.
Yeah, just to elaborate on that, people, what that is Dan's put some effort into this over quite a period of time now, trying to raise enough money. I believe, if I'm right, Dan, that we need to raise £750, and then is it
London Hearts,
another organisation matches that?
They've got a grant of 300 quid they'll give us, and then we're going to donate it to a non-league or grassroots team who needs a defibrillator.
Who needs a defibrillator. Yeah. So that's it, all for a really good cause to help out. Someone within in the game that we love. So it won't be in the Premier League. Obviously, they can afford their own. But clubs that are struggling and maybe don't have a defibrillator, we want to donate one to them. So support Dan in his efforts to raise that money, please. Greg.
Yeah, nothing more from me, mate. Good to be back. I'll try and get to a bit more football. Obviously, I've done a bit of non-league, and when I don't go back to Watford, I try and do a few local games around here and stuff. So I'll try and do some more, get some pictures, videos, that sort of thing. Since we've been on, I've been to Rushall, been to obviously Stourbridge, and a couple of away little trips as well. But yeah, I'll try and do a bit more. But nothing more from me, mate. Really.
Okay, cool. Nigel.
Yes. Being back, listen, anything from Proper Football page you want to get out, you can share it on my page as well if you want. I've got about 4,500 followers on there, so most of them are football fans. So yeah, anything like that, just message it through to me and I'll get it on. Apart from that, it's good to be back and look forward to next week.
Yeah, next week. We're definitely going to be on next week. So join us again. Just certainly me and Nigel will be anyway. I don't know about you two, whether you're on with us next week.
Yeah,
should be all right for Sunday, mate. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We've already got some subjects to talk about. The Joey Barton one, man. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway,
I thought you might
tune in next week. That's going to be fun. Thank you all for watching. And like I say, join us again. And we're back. We're going to try and stay back. And we look forward to the support that you'll all give us. So it's good night from us all, and have a safe week and be good.